This week, instead of our usual all things Star Trek news roundup, we're diving into a special episode of Star Trek Online Basics. Now, why the switch? Honestly, there are two reasons. First, the news. Well, there is no actual news. I mean, how many times can we talk about the premiere of Strange New Worlds or roll our eyes at whatever new brilliant idea just leaked out of Secret Hideout? Look, I'm not recycling headlines for the 75th time, and I'm sure you don't want to hear it again either. Second, it's summertime. The sun is out, and the Lohlunat Festival is live in Star Trek Online. That means it's the perfect time to leave the bridge and head to Risa. Now, today we'll be covering a couple of things. First of all, why Risa still holds a special place in Trek lore and Star Trek Online culture. How the festival works, everything from the events, timelines, and some tips and tricks. What's new this year, including the Tier-6 Federation Intel Holoship, and I'll be kicking off a budget build challenge to help new players gear up. So, captains, let's set phasers to fun. Raise a Horgon in honor of Captain Picard's finest vacation, and engage. Risa isn't just another planet on a Starfleet map. It's the ultimate retreat. Ever since Captain Picard's hilarious Horgon incident in TNG's Captain's Holiday, captains of all stripes have sought its sunny shores. But Picard wasn't the only one. Archer also found some unexpected romance in Enterprise, and later Worf and Jadzia Dax also shared a heartfelt moment under Risa's twin suns. In Star Trek Online, that legacy blossoms into the Lohlunat Festival, a community-wide celebration where Federation officers, Klingons, Romulans, and even Cardassians pause their wartime grudges for scavenger hunts, powerboards, and dance-offs. Personally, for me, Risa's magic comes from the community spirit. Whether you're waiting for a dance party or browsing the event store's seasonal cosmetics, you'll find yourself chatting with some new friends, swapping tips, and soaking in island vibes. It's a month-long reset button. No space bells, just sandy toes and festival fun. So the 2025 Lohlunat Festival runs from July 1st through July 30th on both PC and console. Any captain ranked ensign or above can join via the journal's Summer Events tab or through the Transwarp menu. Just select Risa when the event goes live. Each day, you can pick one of the qualifying events to earn a progress point. 20 points will unlock the 2025 reward Tier-6 Federation Intel Holoship. Every activity also grants Lohlunat Favors, the currency for new emotes, outfits, powerboards, and universal kit modules. Now first off, let's see what's new in 2025. We got 3 different new emotes like calisthenics, a full body workout sequence perfect for post-event stretches on the beach. We have tap dance emote, so you can show off your rhythm under the neon festival lights. And baseball wave, because of course we have something connected to baseball. It is a playful salute borrowed from classic Earth sports. You know, the sports kind. We also got 2 new costumes. We got Frontier Doctor costume, which is a McCoy meets TMP era, and Rysian sunscreen makeup, which is going to add a dab of sunscreen on your face. We also got 3 new pieces of Risa gear. We got 2 floaters and a powerboard. Prismatic floater grants plus 70 flight speed and superior flight maneuverability. It's sleek, smooth, and ideal for nailing those flying high courses. Prismatic powerboard will boost your aquatic speed with speed rating of 88 and turn rating of 80. It's fast, it's flashy, but boy is it tricky on tight turns. And finally, we got the classic thruster pack floater, which will give you plus 85 flight speed and excellent handling. This retro rocket is still a fan favorite for captains who love the vintage vibes. And finally, we got 3 new kit modules. Rapid Lytic Formation module, which is a AoE physical blast dealing 2,213.4 damage in 5-meter radius with knock-up and plus 100 kit performance. We got Mineral Quicksand module that creates a stacking slow roots enemies at 5 stacks and ignites them with fire damage on energy hit. It also grants 1 plus 100 kit performance. And finally, what I personally think is going to be a hit and incredibly powerful kit module, especially against large groups of enemies. We got wrist-mounted acid spray, which is a cone-shaped toxic burst dealing 83.9 damage per second and stacks damage taken debuff and confuses targets. It also grants plus 100 kit performance. Now, when you've been down to Risa, you really have 2 kind of flavors of fun. You have on-demand missions, which are bite-sized activities that you can trigger anytime. They are great for filling the gaps between the headline events. And you get scheduled open missions, which are big, zone-wide challenges that fire off in a fixed 90-minute carousel. They paid the lion's share of favors and are all important to daily progress. Now, we're going to look at all of these activities and break them down. So, let's start with the dance party. Dance party is a signature flash mob that starts on central dance floor. When you get there and when it's announced, you need to click I want a dance button to jump in. And every approximately 15 seconds, the instructor will call out a new emote, aka dance. You basically need to land all 38 moves for the full favor payout. Now, along the way, you will hit certain milestones, add 3, 5, 10, and 20 moves. And each of those milestones will pay a certain amount of favors. So, you'll get 10 for 3 moves, 15 for 5 moves, 25 for 10 moves, and 50 favors for 20 moves, which in total brings 100 favors for a dance party. Now, here's the fun part. Now, if you see Choo Choo dance called out, that will automatically grant you a bonus of 100 favors. So, you could basically get up to 200 favors for a 15-minute mission. Now, there's also interesting lore bit here. Surprise Choo-Choo Beat Drop is a direct nod to Star Trek Lower Decks. The devs lifted the routine from Zebulon Sisters, infectious track that sent Boimler and Mariner into the full fan mode in the episode Terminal Provocations. So, what's the easiest way to finish this mission? Simple. Open your chat, select emotes, then click this detach pan and park that list wherever is the most suitable for you based on your own setup. Remember, the instructor will call roughly 60 moves in a 15-minute window. You only need 38 to finish, but you must still be actively participating in the mission or you'll miss Choo-Choo Trigger. So what I'm saying is basically if you already have all 38 moves, the mission is over for you, and if the instructor calls out the Choo-Choo, you won't get additional 100 favors. In order to give yourself the best chance, you will see a lot of people when they get to, let's say, final 36, 37 moves, start doing random dances that are not being called out and waiting for the Choo-Choo. Just make sure that once you get to the last, let's say 20-30 seconds, hit the final prompt to secure your progress. Don't risk timing out and losing those 100 bonus favors. There are 2 accolades when it comes to the dance party. You can earn a new dance, samba. In order to do that, all you have to do is talk to the dance instructor once and you will earn this Risa samba routine. And once you complete the dance party first time, you will unlock the Samba Master, marking your mastery of the festival's most iconic moves. Okay, now let's move on to Horgan's Hunt. When the hunt is being called, you need to hit I want to hunt Horgans button, or you can jog inside the resort and speak to the Horgan collector. And you'll have 10 minutes to scoop up 10 statues that are hidden around the island. In order to complete the mission, you need to find all 10, and you will get 75 Lohlunat Favors, but you will also be getting tip money along the way. So every statue you find tosses another 2 to 5 favors into your pockets. In practice, you'll usually pocket around 20 to 25 extra favors, even though theoretically you could pocket 50. The key to finishing this mission fast and get the most of the Lohlunats possible is to do a repeatable lap instead of winging it. Here's the one I use. Basically, I start behind the main resort building to grab the first statue. Then I move past the eastern hill, veer south to the east to the tiny isle at the end of the promenade. I will then skim back along the beach, do a little half circle, go around the beach, where I usually you can find there 2 more statues. Then angle north over the elevated tree bridge, there are some statues there, and sail straight towards Sovak's camp for the statue number 10. With a halfway decent floater, the loop is usually going to clock at 3 to 4 minutes, which is plenty of time left to slot in maybe Flying High, or build a sandcastle before the next scheduled event. Now, if you do that, let's say we did a Horgan hunt, got 75 base prize, we got, let's say, 20 more. That's already 95. You can then slot Flying High and Sandcastles for another 70. So that's around 165 Lohlunat Favors in, 10 minutes? That's a really good hunt. Now next we move to making waves. It is a powerboarding mission. This scheduled sprint kicks off at the promenade start line. About a minute before the horn, you will get a join the race button. Click it, hop on your board, and get ready for the adrenaline-soaked laps against the cock and fellow captains. Now, this mission awards 75 favors for the first place, plus 12 tropical tags. Second will award you 50 favors and 6 tags. Third earns you 25 favors and 3 tags, and everyone who crosses the finish line is going to pocket a consolation prize of 15 favors and 2 tags. Look, when it comes to tips, I don't actually have any. Powerboarding is kind of half reflex, half finesse. A decent board will help, but the real trick is, I think, restraint. You need to skip some of the boost pads so you don't overshoot the course boundary and wipe your lap. Try to get inside of each buoy gate and keep a steady line. That can shave some seconds of your time. Now, when it comes to the accolades, we also have an accolade here too. It's called the Ripper. Now, in order to get this accolade, you either need to finish 20 races or snag first place once, and you'll unlock it. Along with, permanent swagger in your step. The next mission is Risa Biathlon. It usually comes hot on the wheels of making waves, and it blends powerboard sprinting with floater race. The start sits just outside Solak's camp, and again, like the Making Waves mission, 1 minute before you horn, you'll see the Join the Race button, and if you're late, you can still use side-to-side transport straight to the line. The course rips across the water on a powerboard and then kicks you into the air for a floater dash through glowing rings. Well, they're not actually glowing, they just yellow. The first place will bag you 75 favors and 12 tropical tags. Second, 50 favors and 6 tags. And third will grab you 25 favors and 3 tags. And finally, of course, for the consolation prize, you will get 15 favors and 2 tags if you cross the finish line. Again, here, there's no fancy trick. This one is also about practice and rhythm. My only hard rule? You need to really run across the checkpoint flag before you deploy your floater. If you do that prematurely, you will eat a disqualification. So pace your boosts when you're on the board, keep a shallow glide line in a floater segment, and you'll nail a podium slot sooner than you think. The Biathlon also offers 3 accolades. We got Sizzling for the first place, and it will unlock Gold Superior Powerboard and Floater, meaning you can buy them. Balmy for a second, which will unlock the Silver set, and Tepid for the third, which will unlock the Bronze set. Grab any one of those and you'll be strutting the promenade in style. So the next mission we're going to talk about is the artifact hunt, or the mission name is actually Sun, Sand, and Scavenging. This one pops up right after the Biathlon, and it's the mission that kind of trips up most of the newcomers. Honestly, it trips up everyone. When Sovak's bonus windows opens, click I want to hunt for artifacts in your UI. You'll get a hand scanner and 15 minutes to track down a single temporarily displaced artifact. Now, this mission can be played on demand and is a part of the scheduled rotation. So you can trigger the hunt yourself I think it's 15 minutes, and you can get 20 favors for completing it. But if you catch it during the scheduled rotation, Sovak sweetens the deal to 50 favors, and if you haven't already got a progress point, you'll get a progress point too. So, of course, always grab the bonus version if you can. The reason why so many people get tripped up around this one is because the scanner's readout is only good for one thing: the text pop-ups that will tell you whether you're closer or further from the artifact. Ignore the blue ripple graphic. It's really useless. It's kind of a red herring until you're practically on top of the loot. And because the scanner itself is kind of useless, a lot of people get frustrated because it's a big map and you need to start somewhere. So here's my foolproof routine. I always start at the volcano, right on the Biathlon finish circle. I will face north, and once I get the mission, first, of course, you need to initialize the scanner. Then I will take a few steps forward and scan. Now, if it says closer, that means the artifact is somewhere in the northern half of the map. If it says further, I need to turn south, and basically that first step is going to immediately rule out 2 quadrants already. So in this instance, if it says closer, it means, okay, I have completely ruled out the southern part of the map. Once I get the closer UI text, I will first, let's say, take a couple of steps to the right and scan again. Once more, I will be looking at if it's closer or further, and that ping will eliminate the third quadrant, leaving you with a single wedge of terrain to cover. So, in this instance, it was closer. That means I have eliminated the opposite quadrant, and this is the part of the map that I will be looking for. Now, we still have a huge place to cover, but there are a couple of things you need to remember. These artifacts show up in same places, so you will need to open your mental or printed map of the 16 possible spawn points, and you start by making wide sweeps through only that sector, scanning every couple of, 5-10 seconds. When the text flips from closer to further, you need to go back, maybe do a zigzag. At some point, the scanner UI is going to tell you that you have went too far. That means you need to turn around and start scanning in a zigzag until the relic pops. Now, it's kind of hard to explain, that's why I'm showing you what I'm doing this. But basically, the main thing you need to look out for is your direction. So as long as it's showing closer, go to that line. Once it shows further, go back, try a little bit to the right, a little bit to the left, and you will start narrowing the position of the artifact. It will take some time for you to kind of learn and get a sense of all the possible spawn points. And once you do, honestly, it takes me about 3 to 4 minutes to finish this mission. So I can still put in Flying High and Sandcastles for additional 70 favors. This mission also has an accolade, and it's in a geological sense, and you need to locate all 20 spawn points over time to unlock it. And now finally, let's go to the two on-demand missions that you can do. You can do Flying High, which is really popular if you need your daily progress point, but on a short time frame. Flying High is kind of the ticket. It's on-demand floater circuit that you can fire up every 12 minutes. No waiting for the island timetable. You can pick up the mission from the event coordinator here. All you need to do is strap on your floater and clear 3 out of 4 randomly selected ring courses to snag your reward. Each run hands over 50 Lohlunat Favors, and once per day per account your daily event progress. Courses kind of rotate between spots like Bay Rock, the Stone Arches, the Back Beach, Great Tower. So for captains who only beam down for the progress stick, Flying High means you can be in and out under 5 minutes. And this mission is also the perfect filler when the schedule leaves you with a downtime between marquee events. And finally, let's talk about castles in the sand. Now, in order to start this mission, you need to talk to the arenologist. You will need to, once you speak to him, you need to claim a mount, this little sand bucket place, and you will be racing a clock. So basically, you gotta build your own sandcastle. In order to do that, there are a couple of small tasks you need to complete. You will need to haul damp sand before it dries. You need to add rocks or sticks, choose some glow bugs, maybe scare off a feather monkey, and each finished sculpture pays a flat 20 favors, and it will not give you any progress. So it's kind of a casual pocket change for an accolade grind. Your first build unlocks fancier shapes. Finish 5 unique designs for the Sandcastle Savant title, then complete every variant to earn Sandcastle Stylist and the Grand Monuments. The mission respawns every 15 minutes or so and wraps up in about 3, making it ideal for the downtime filler. All scheduled events on Risa march through a fixed 90-minute rotation. Your summer event UI shows the live challenge, its remaining time, and what's next. If we look at the structure of one of these loops and start with the dance party, it will be followed by the Powerboard Race, then moves on to the Organ Hunt. Next comes the Risa Biathlon, followed by the Artifact Scavenger Hunt. After that, the Powerboard Race and Biathlon both repeat, then there's another chance at the Artifact Scavenger Hunt, and finally the loop closes out with a second dance party. Now, while you can't jump ahead you can drop in at any time. Just join the currently live event, then follow the schedule throughout the island. And remember, whenever you have a downtime, whenever you finish any of the missions sooner, and have, let's say, 4 or 5 minutes to spare, you can do Flying High and Castles in the Sand. Now, I would recommend to keep an eye on Dance Party and Horgan Hunt when they appear, because they are the favor heavyweights. Combined with Flying High or Sandcastles during breaks, you can collect, besides the 1 progress point per day, up to anywhere between 250 to even 650 favors in a single full cycle without swapping characters. If there is an activity you don't enjoy or you suck at, and yes, I'm talking from personal experience, I suck at powerboarding and biathlon. I don't know why powerboarding, but biathlon I know why. I'm afraid of heights. You can substitute it with Flying High and or maybe Sandcastle activities. You can get 70 favors instead of 15 for only finishing the race. All the progress points are account bound, so your alts cannot speed up the progress like in any other event. Favors are also account bound, and I have heard some of the players recommend that you use different alts to get more favors, but I have found with this cycle, following 90 minutes, I can get like 650. Yesterday, I got 700 favors for 1 hour and a half cycle. I would probably lose more time if I was bouncing between the alts, so I don't think that's necessary. But hey, if you find some way to get more favors that way, God bless. Now, before we move on, there is something I wanted to talk about, and I was kind of wondering whether or not to talk about it at all, but this is definitely for the new players. And while doing some of the initial research and some of the stuff I kind of needed for this episode, I have come about certain information regarding the automation. And I would suggest you avoid it. You could get yourself into trouble. And honestly, look, the point of this is to have fun. Some macros or scripts can speed up some routines. They can also use macros, especially can violate some STO's terms of service. Some of the stuff that I saw, I'm not talking about regular, I'm not talking about key binds and stuff like that. I'm talking about some macros or scripts that I have seen online. Stay away from it. Stick to manual travel, emotes, and event joins to stay compliant in the spirit of the event. So, let's talk about the ship. After earning 20 progress points, you will be eligible to claim the Federation Intel Holoship T6, which is inspired by the ship from Star Trek Insurrection. Now, fun fact. A lot of folks have forgotten about the Insurrection, which probably says something about the movie itself. But this year, since the Holoship appeared half submerged on Risa, just like in the film, led some players to think its map actually crashed, because normally the reward ships kind of float above the island, so the lake placement was really neat and cheeky callback. Thumbs up, Becca. Here's a refresher. If you too have forgotten about the insurrection, this holoship was used by Crazy Admiral, because of course it's going to be a Crazy Admiral, to secretly relocate the Baku people in order to harvest metaphasic radiation. He was cloaked and hidden beneath the lake near their village, but neutrino emissions eventually gave it away. When it comes to this movie, the biggest problem I had was that when I was listening to the Crazy Admiral, I was like, no, but he's right, and this is a big planet. So why can't we bring people suffering from metaphasic radiation here? Why does 60 people get to, and 60 people who also came to this planet randomly? What? Anyways, let's not go into retrying the insurrection. Like I said, the biggest problem is when you have an obvious bad guy and in the middle of the movie you were like, but I agree with the bad guy. He kind of makes sense. Now, let's talk about the holoship here in Star Trek Online. This holoship has 4 weapon layout, 4 tactical, 4 engineering, 3 science, and 1 universal console. Bridge officers are universal down the line. We have 4 bridge officers, universal intel commander, a lieutenant commander, universal miracle worker, and +2 universal slots. We also got cloaking device, holometric disguise, and tactical engineering or science modes. The mastery trait is Ouroboros Driver, which kills in one holographic mode and cut cooldowns in the others. So, here's the thing, Captains. I am fast approaching my official, unofficial, who really cares, but 2-year anniversary playing Star Trek Online, and getting really addicted to this game. So, I'm going to attempt to do something I never did before, and that's actually do a build for the Federation Intel Holoship. Now, here's what I was thinking about. So, I want to do a fully budget-friendly build for the beginners on this ship. So, veterans, please feel free to toss some ideas. I desperately need some. Here are some of the build parameters in order to keep it truly budget-friendly and beginner-friendly. Gear must be available through missions, fleet, exchange, or reputation. Maximum 15 million EC per item on the exchange. No previous campaign rewards, loot boxes, or Zen ships. I already have an idea, but since I'm not really big on builds, and honestly my method of building is more along the lines of let's put all of the shit in and see how it works out. Look, I'm a kind of visual person, so reading the tooltips doesn't help me that much, it just confuses me. I'll refine the setup once I get the ship, which should be in about 2 weeks, because no, I will not be spending 1,000 lobby to get it early, and that kind of defeats the purpose of the budget ship. I know for sure I'll be using phaser beams, because I like beams and I like phasers. I'm also thinking maybe trying quantum phase gear for the propulsion and shields. Since it's an Intel and Miracle Worker hybrid, I'm definitely going to explore a combination of override subsystem safeties 3 and maybe mixed armaments synergy 1 or 2. I have a couple of DOFs in mind, like, energy weapon specialist, or core engineer, technician, maintenance engineer. The bottom line is that I want to make a solid, fun ship that works well in missions and advanced TFOs. So no, we're definitely not going for the meta. This is more about like sparking ideas. If this helps even one new player start tinkering with builds, that's kind of a win. Because honestly, when I started out, I used to think that you could not make a decent build unless you're ready to spend hundreds of dollars. And look, guys, I love this community, but I've seen so many budget builds out there that truly get pricey fast, especially when they include gear that's no longer easily available or is locked now behind the mods market. So this one is for the new folks, a truly free build based only on gear you can get through gameplay or under 15 million EC. If you have any suggestions for mission rewards, the dilithium store, reputation gear, or anything else cheap and cheerful, it can be cheerful too. Drop them in the Discord. Let's try to build this together. And there you have it. This is kind of a complete guide to the 2025 Lohlunat Festival on Risa, topped off with a challenge to help build a fully budget-friendly holoship for new captains. So whether you came from the emotes, stayed for the favors, or got addicted to dance-off under the alien skies of Risa, we need to be reminded that sometimes the best missions don't involve phasers at all. If you found this helpful, hit like, drop your own tips and build ideas in the comments, and be sure to join me on Discord. And as always, captains, stay curious like you, relaxed like Picard on a shore leave, stylish like a Risian, and always ready for adventure like a lower deck on vacation. And never stop looking at the stars, because we're Trekkies. And that's what we do.